His flank way out in motion, inward.
A third down play for Phipps. Firing over the middle. It might have been Walter who pulled it in. It was a great catch by Payton for the Chicago first down.
A few days, or a few games, I should say.
On the other hand, the Vikings held San Francisco to under 100 yards on the ground last week. Phipps flips it out to Payton, and unless Walter can slither away, this is going nowhere, and it's a loss of about 5 or 6. There's in the lineup right now on this 3rd and 16 play. Backpedaling and unloading. Incomplete, and the Bears will have to punt. Meets it at about the goal line. Spiraling kick. Schubert at midfield shakes a tackle, tries to come outside. He is in Minnesota territory at about the 48. Fred McNeil made the tackle. The wide receivers, Dave Williams and Walter Payton, the running backs for Mike Phipps. And here's Payton. Nice hole opens up, and Payton drags some tacklers to about the 44. Richards in motion. Dave Williams. Short of a first down as he got a couple. Third down and a long one. Long count, and they ask Williams to get it, and apparently he has. Blocked punts or field goals, fake plays off punts or field goals. Those have been the deciding factors historically in the games between these teams. Third down, heavy pressure. Phipps gets it away, and it's complete to Brian Baschnagel, and Baschnagel is across the 30-yard line. Will hold at about the 37, a 47-yard attempt by Thomas, the former Notre Dame star, and it is short and no good.
Did you see that wind slow that ball up?
It was on line, but short. Kramer could not generate a first down last time the Vikings had the ball. He'll put it in the air on his first try here, and it's picked off. The Bears have the football as Terry Schmidt comes up with the interception. And once again, Chicago is in Minnesota territory. Payton lost 2. Second down, 12 from the 29. Phipps back and under pressure. They may get him. He slips away, and finally down he goes. Phipps was not sacked at all last week against Green Bay, but this time Minnesota got him. I had 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. 2 wide receivers on the left side. And one of them is Payton, moving in motion and going out on the pattern. Phipps having trouble getting away and gets rid of it in desperation, incomplete. James White was putting the pressure on him, and once again they use Payton out in that wide receiver set. Greg Coleman standing inside his 5 to punt for the Vikings. The entire first quarter has been played in Minnesota territory. What a booming boot by Coleman, who was also hit on the play, and a flag is down. Schubert brings it back to around the Chicago 35, but Lenny Walderscheid, going for the block, ran into Coleman, and the flag was thrown. Keeping it on the ground and pitching it back to Ricky Young, and Young, with some running room, has a nice gain on first down before strong safety Doug Plank stopped him. Young got 7. It's second down, 3 from the 29. Pitch it back to Ricky Young again. First down yardage for Minnesota. Alan Page on the tackle, but for the first time the Vikings begin to move the ball. Just over a minute to play in a scoreless first quarter. Kramer with a short drop and quick sideline throw. He finds Ahmad Rashad, and Rashad is pushed out of bounds by Virgil Livers. Concern in Minnesota as to whether or not Foreman will ever regain his once fantastic form. He tries for the first down over the top, and it's going to be very, very close.
Well, he went about it the right way. Take the dive and get up and over all that traffic, and it's, as you said, Bob, it's going to be very, very close.
From their own 46-yard line, this will be the last play of the first quarter. Everybody bunched up at the line of scrimmage. And I think he got it.
There's a flag down.
Offside. First Vikings turn to make some noise. They pitch it back to Foreman on the last play of the opening period. He gets a couple before being brought down by Jerry Muckenstern. Vikings have 2nd and 8 from the Chicago 47. Kramer with good protection. Over the middle. Got his man. Chuck Foreman slipping out of the backfield for a big gain. He is inside the Chicago 30. Shifting backs on each play to bring in the play for Tommy Kramer. And they keep it on the ground with their number 1 draft choice, Ted Brown. Brown, the rookie out of North Carolina State. The 4th leading ground gainer in NCAA history, behind only Tony Dorsett, Archie Griffin, and Ed Marinaro. It may be technically possible to get a first down on the 1-inch line, but for all intents and purposes, it's 2nd and goal from the 8, and now they're down around the 2-yard line. Young in motion. Kramer rolling right. May keep it himself. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tommy Kramer.
Pretty good call.
So the Bears pretty much dominated the first quarter. They were able to score, but the Vikings get on the board here on this play.
There's Spivey playing the pass receiver, Ricky Young, out, and then he has to react, number 47, and it's just too late. And a good play by the Minnesota Vikings. They have taken the lead 7-0 in the second quarter.
0-0. The touchdown by Kramer a moment ago, the first one yielded by the Bear defense this year. Last week, all they gave up was a Chester Marco field goal against Green Bay. Walter Payton turns the corner. Good game for Walter. You and I did the game last year against Tampa Bay when Walter went past the 5,000-yard mark in his career. The only man ever to do it sooner in his career was the great Jimmy Brown. Payton again. Small hole, turns it into a big game. Give him any kind of daylight and he's gone. He is in Minnesota territory. Scott Studwell finally stopped him. Unofficially, Payton with 28 yards on 6 carries so far. He got 8 on that play, setting up 2nd down and 2. Bashnagel in motion left to right. Mike Phipps on the handoff to Dave Williams. Williams might have been stopped for a gain of only 1, but he forced his way forward for a Chicago first down. Bashnagel on the move. Williams on the carry. 3, maybe 4. It'll be a 3rd down play. In the first. Bears need a yard to keep the drive alive. Phipps may keep it himself. First down yardage. Then he's cut down by John Turner, who came up quickly from his left cornerback spot. But Degrees on the field as the Bears won 6-3 last Sunday against Green Bay here. Phipps with a short drop and quick throw to the sideline. Got his man James Scott. Scott spinning away from tacklers and dragged out of bounds. Scott, who led the Bears with 42 receptions a year ago. In-year veteran from Purdue, Mike Phipps.
They're going to double James Scott.
And they go to Payton on the draw, and they do not get the first down.
30 to 39-yard line.
He was short from 47 yards in the first quarter. This one considerably shorter, and he puts it through. A 39-yard connection by Bob Thomas, and that cuts the Minnesota lead down to 7-3 with 6:47 to play in quarter number 2. The game against San Francisco a week ago, which helped set up the winning touchdown. Pitch back to Foreman, going nowhere, dragged down by Osborne and Muckenstern. So the Bears secondary has done a good job on him. 3rd down and 11. All kinds of pressure. He eludes Hartenstein. He eludes Muckenstern, then Hartenstein grabs him from behind. Kramer is sacked. The Vikings will punt. Was greeted by all kinds of cheering from the Chicago fans. He is their number 1 choice. He pitches back to Walter Payton on his first play from scrimmage. Walter finds some daylight. A flag is thrown as he gets out across midfield.
Number 87, holding. First down.
0-1 coming into today's action. 3rd and 21 for Evans from his own 25.
No blitz.
And the pass knocked down. Randy Holloway got in there that time. That is the 3rd deflected pass by the Minnesota front 4. 3rd and 10, 2:42 on the clock. Kramer has time. Now that protection breaks down, and Tommy Kramer is sacked. Had to be a good job by the Bears secondary because Kramer did have enough time initially. Greg Coleman getting set to punt. Bears have a couple of minutes to work with once they get the ball. Schubert across the 35, across the 40, and out of bounds. Good field position for Chicago, and 1:59 left in the half. He was the Rose Bowl MVP back in 1977 with the Trojans. He backed up Pat Eaton for a while. He replayed Phipps midway through the second quarter for the Bears. He pitches back to Walter Payton. Walter turns the corner, has about 5, and stops the clock by getting out of bounds. Regular season opener. So they've rebounded considerably from the doldrums they found themselves in last season. Evans airs one out deep. He wants Scott. He's got him. Touchdown. Vince Evans to James Scott.
Number 89. Let's take a look as Vince Evans with the fake of Walter, which holds him for just a second. Here comes the pressure, not too much, and he just threw it as far as he could. You're going to see Allen fall right here, and he kind of hits onto Scott's feet, but the pass was perfect right in the breadbasket. Touchdown, Chicago Bears.
Boy, he couldn't have taken that in better stride. Bob Thomas boots it, and it's Ted Brown who takes it across the 20. Fumble as he's hit. Loose football. And let's see who comes up with it. Still free. Squirts free into the end zone. And we might have a safety coming up. We do. Tim Baylor came up with it for Minnesota after it crossed the end line. And it's a safety, and the Vikings will have to kick the ball back to the Bears. Because otherwise, the Bears might have had 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 5.
There's the hit, and the ball just squirted out, and then it was a foot race with 2 Chicago Bears after it and only 1 Minnesota Viking. Bruce Herron appeared to have the best shot at it. Lee Coons, number 57. But number 67, Dennis Sweeney, helped out there a little bit as he got the ball to go forward more, and backwards, I should say, and finally it goes out of the end zone, which makes it an automatic safety. The Vikings will have to punt to the Bears. The score is now 12-7 Chicago.
Just about the only thing that's brand new here, the place built in 1924, the oldest facility in use in the NFL. Schubert takes the kick, finds a hole, good return, and things continue to break Chicago's way. Playing hurt with Golden Richards in motion. Pitch back to Walter Payton. Change of direction. Daylight for Walter. Look out. Here he goes. 15. Across the 10. Across the 5. Touchdown, Walter Payton.
What a runner. What a runner, Walter Payton. Man in motion, Golden Richards back across the field. Now see, there's no penetration there as Walter just takes off here, and James Scott is running in front of Nate Allen. It's 89 and 25. Here's where Walter shifts the ball, waits for Scott to throw his block, and then cuts back into the end zone. He does it all.
The first 35 seconds of the second half have been a nightmare for Bud Grant over the Minnesota Vikings. Let's watch Payton again as he scoots 43 yards for 6 points. He's now carried 12 times for 84 yards. Is wide right. Rashad is wide to the left. Kramer looks for Rashad. Rashad makes a little turn-in move and turns what should have been a short gain into a big one. In the game was in December of 1973 when Paul Warfield did it for the Miami Dolphins. Ted Brown carries. Good blocking. And shoved out of bounds as he gets into Bear territory across the 45. Another Illinois product has played middle linebacker pretty well for the Bears. Kramer fires. He's got his man. It's Doug Cunningham. And Cunningham, the free agent rookie out of Rice, is inside the 30-yard line of the Bears.
Oh, here they come. No, they drop off.
Kramer in trouble nonetheless. And down he goes. Alan Page got there, and he's got to relish that play against his old Viking teammates. They mob him on the sideline.
He does okay for 220 pounds, doesn't he?
The sun obscured my view. Now they have 7 seconds to get it off, and they do. Walter Payton on 3rd down. Does he keep their drive alive? He does. Walter Payton got the first down. Scott wide right, Richards wide left. Back set up in the eye, and they pitch it back to Walter. Needs 3 yards. Tries to turn back to get them, struggling forward. And I think he's going to be short. They're prepared to go with a heavy rush. Everybody coming after it. Parsons is hit. Do they throw the flag? Yes. They throw the flag down. The return is academic by Keith Nord. He's cut down quickly, but they ran into Parsons, and the Bears are going to keep the ball.
Personal foul. Number 45, running into the kicker. First down.
Vince Evans, look out for the blitz. They try and bring Payton around the right side. He eludes a couple. He stays on his feet and out of bounds. First down, Chicago. 05. They'll try him again. Left side. And out to midfield.
His pulling guard, number 65, and Hannon took a lot of punishment in making this tackle. There's Dave Williams out in front, too. Watch 65 and 69, Reedy Sorry. Here's 65, Jackson. He's out in front, and Hannon is there, and there's a big collision, and Hannon had to take down about 500 pounds of beef to make that tackle.
175 in one contest, and he did that against the Vikings. Dave Williams has the first down. He found the hole blocked up. He took it outside. And more big yardage for the Bears.
37, both in motion. Illegal motion.
Willie McClendon is now in.
19-7, as you can see, Payton has outgained the entire Minnesota team on the ground. Here comes Walter around the end again. Walter breaking into some daylight. And Walter Payton into Minnesota territory before strong safety Tommy Hannon made the tackle.
Lead back Dave Williams, number 22. You'll see him downfield. There it is right there. It's to the right of your screen. He's down. He knocked the linebacker, Matt Blair, down, and Payton took off, and Hannon had to make the tackle again as the Chicago Bears.
Edison John McEnroe for the men's title. Vince Evans dropping back on 1st and 10. Got a man open. James Scott skips out of bounds, stops the clock with 3:04 to play in the third. Walter Payton for the first down. He just lowered his head and pulled forward for 2 or 3 extra yards. It's that 19-7 lead. They're at the 24 of Minnesota. Evans fakes, keeps it himself. He's in trouble. Can he get a pass off? They're going to say he was down right there. That's the new rule this year in the NFL, and we knew that there would be some controversies when they instituted this rule. Johnny, go ahead and explain it.
Well, they're trying to protect the quarterbacks. Remember the injury to Kramer last year when he got thrown on his head? Well, those kinds of injuries have prompted the officials to the NFL to make rule change that if the quarterback is in the grasp of somebody, they're going to blow the whistle for his own protection. And
2nd and 22 from the 36. Evans dropping straight back under pressure. Lobs one out of there. Man wide open. Dave Williams to about the 17 where he loses the football. And Minnesota may have come up with it. There's Ahmad Rashad coming out of the backfield and going in motion to the right side. And Kramer finds Rashad, who breaks away from some tacklers, but then slips down at about the 42. Their club today. Cobb, Lotta, Tucker, Voigt, none of them has figured on a pass catch so far this afternoon. Kramer in trouble, and the third quarter ends with an Alan Page sack of Tommy Kramer. Schubert, the deep man, back at the Chicago 30. Coleman standing at Minnesota 10. Meets it at the 15 under a little bit of pressure. Wobbly high kick. Fair catch called for and taken by Brian Bashnagel at about the 48 or 49 yard line of Chicago. Golden Richards in motion. Evans on the drop and the throw. Diving grab. Was he inbounds? Yes. James Scott made the catch. They needed 6 for the first down.
Number 89, 83, illegal shift. 3rd down.
Golden Richards and James Scott shifting illegally. Evans looks things over and drops back to pass. He has time. He throws. It's complete. Dave Williams coming back for the catch, but that's short of first down yardage, and that means Bob Parsons will have to punt. Mr. Marco field goal. So their defense has been outstanding. Coleman to punt. Meets it at about his own 5. Schubert at the 45, across the 50, across the 45. And again, the Bears set up in Viking territory with the clock showing 12 minutes and 14 seconds to play. Walter Payton, by the way, needs just 84 more yards to become the all-time Bear rushing leader, and we're coming back in a minute. Bears in the driver's seat, 12:14 to play. They have the ball 1st and 10, and they lead 19-7. Walter Payton. Again, he cuts back against the grain. And he is to about the 36-yard line of Minnesota. In motion, Bashnagel on 2nd and 2. Dave Williams, a Chicago first down. Got 11 minutes to play. Golden Richards in motion. Evans a pitch back to Payton, who is bearing down on Rick Caceres' all-time record. Now he's bearing down on the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
Unbelievable. Walter Payton. And did you see that high stepping he did the last few yards? He wanted us all to see it. And we got a good look as Walter Payton around the end goes for the touchdown.
Down of the afternoon, his first TD scamper covered 43. Here it is.
A pitch out of the I formation. Reeve Sorey, Dave Williams out front. There comes the block. Watch Sorey hit Sutherland. And now look how he's carrying that ball. Now lift those legs. Lift them, Walter. That's it. Just like the Stallions do it.
2nd and 7. Kramer over the middle. Got his man, Ahmad Rashad. That's the longest reception that Rashad has made all day, and he really drew a crowd. And Kramer with time to throw. There's a flag down on the play. Spivey was there on the coverage against Rashad. And let's see what the call will be.
Offense, number 67. Holding. 2nd down.
Let's see how many people the Bears send. No blitz, but Kramer is in trouble anyway. And down he goes. Jim Osborne got him. That is the 5th Chicago sack. Gain rushing by Chicago Bears. They give it to him. Let's see what he can do. He's going to churn off some yardage. A penalty flag has been thrown. It might be a clip. Let's see if they're going to bring this back. Big gain for Payton, but I think he knows that the penalty is against Chicago.
Defense, number 25. Personal foul, roughing, out of bounds. Replay.
Okay, offsetting penalties against first Mike Cobb for holding and then Nate Allen of the Vikings for roughing. So they'll do the play over again.
There's Mike Cobb there. You saw him falling. He held on Mark Mullaney, and then Payton made the move there on Hannon and took off down the field. Cost the Bears a lot of yards and Walter Payton a lot of yards before he was knocked out of bounds, and Walter slammed the ball down, so he was pretty sure what happened. And because they have 12 new players, they're going to go through a rebuilding process and have a new quarterback and a lot of changes, something that Bud Grant hasn't had to go through for all these years he's been there, and now he's going to have to face that.
With the final score as Sweetness, Walter Payton leads his Bear teammates off the field. Chicago 26 and Minnesota 7.
So the Chicago Bears are now 2-0 and could possibly have the lead in the Central Division depending on what Tampa Bay does with Baltimore. But